Good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. So it is about 8:30 and I'm gonna get up. Kind of had a little bit of an interesting night. The boat kept moving and I could feel it, so I would get up because I was like, what's going on? Why are we moving so much? And come to find out, the anchor was totally fine, but what would happen, because of the current of the river, it faces the boat backwards, or down river, the stern of the boat towards the down river, and the wind was coming north. So what would happen is when the boat would swing and the back end would face the wind, you have that big flat end, the wind would push the boat, and then the anchor was tight, so it would push and that line would be tight, and it pulled us, and we ended up doing a big circle kind of all night. I was worried if the anchor would pop, because a few times, you're on the opposite end of where it's set, but there's a swivel on the chain, so I'm hoping it just kept spinning, and we ended up staying in the same spot and never had to worry about it. I'll edit in, I have anchor alarm, and I took a screenshot of the anchor path, and you can see it's just a bunch of circles instead of like a little smiley face like we normally do when we're at anchor. So it's kind of interesting. We finally got to sail, but we didn't go anywhere. But it did kind of make for a restless night, because when the boat's moving like that, you kind of start to develop a sense of what the boat's doing. And when you feel it doing things you're not used to, you're like, oh, I better check. And so it kind of woke me up a few times. But it's better to be safe than sorry, and always check your anchor, because you do not want to wake up in the morning and end up being on shore, tipped over, or anything. So I'm going to wake up. I'm going to head on back to the cockpit or cabin and get ready for the day, and then we'll go from there. We should make it down to Davenport today. That is the plan. Well, coming up to get my rear anchor light. Pretty glad we didn't end up hitting that tree when we were doing our anchor circle last night. That tree was not there last night when we anchored, and it looks pretty big. So I know the current of the river is coming from that way. The anchor is off our port side now because of the way the wind is, and we would do our circle around the anchor. So that means that tree came from that way at some point and then lodged there. And as you can see off of our port side, it wouldn't have been far, because we are on the edge of the anchor circle now. So looks like also out in the middle of the river there's a tree there as well that all the birds are on. So there's some logs a moving in the river today, or last night. I don't know why or what caused it, but they're definitely moving. Gonna have to pay attention to that today and be real careful. I don't know if it's because of with the river so low that like when boats go by, maybe they stir them up off the bottom, or I don't know. But there's definitely tree-sized trees in the river, not just some branches or logs. Like, that's a whole over there. So I'm gonna get my Captain Crunch eaten and weigh anchor, get my hair combed, and then we'll be heading out towards Davenport is the plan today. Alright, I just topped off our main tank with the 5-gallon jug there on the engine fan for a little bit. So while I was sitting here, I thought I'd show you guys. Tonight, I got out my fuel ball, and then I have some 3/8 low permeable U.S. Coast Guard approved 10 feet of fuel hose. And I think I'm going to be able to make my own fuel transfer pump, because otherwise I haven't been able to find any. Everywhere else would have to order them in. And this is a really nice heavy duty ball. And then I have fuel hose. So it'd probably be better than anything I could buy anyway. So I think tonight that'll be the plan. Hose is all the way down in the bottom there. So I'll have to, but shouldn't be too hard depending on how late it gets and all that. I should definitely be able to make one. So I'm just trying to plan if I want to do it tonight when I get in, or if I just want to rest so that I can get up real early tomorrow, Monday, and have a good long day of travel. Because Tuesday, Wednesday, it looks like it's going to rain and storm. And I don't mind moving in the rain, but if it's real stormy, like 30, 40 mile an hour winds and rain and cold, I've gotten far enough south, I think I could take a day or two off and I would be okay. So I might end up just doing boat projects that day, because I have to get out our rope and I want to lash those 1x6s up there between the stanchions. So then I'll be able to get these water jugs out of here. We're going to do 2 on each side. We won't really be able to see out the window, but we'll have way more room, and then we'll get weight forward. Wearing them where the wood is there, just lined up, all 4 of them. But with that much weight in the back, the front end stuff was way down in the water. And I'm sure it really doesn't affect the motor with the wet exhaust under the water. But it does have to push a little bit harder to get that flap open when it's underwater. So that probably gives back pressure, which does affect the motor. And I want it to run as easy as it can until we at least get up into Lake Superior. And I know I'm on the home stretch to almost home and Duluth. So anything I can do to baby her till we get, at least down to Florida, I'm going to do it. We are about 200 miles from Alton, Illinois. So we've been traveling about 40-50 miles a day, so we should be able to get there in 4 days, and then we'll meet up with everybody and we'll step the mast, and then that should help on gas and running the motor as well. I'm hoping we'll be able to sail as much as we can, and we should be able to sail faster than I push in the motor. With the motor at full speed, it will propel the boat like 9.5, 10 miles an hour, but I've just been going 5. We were going 6 yesterday with the tailwind sometimes, and just babying her, keeping her good, because you got to remember it's a 40-year-old motor. I did rebuild a bunch of it, like new fuel pump, new fuel, like I have a really nice fuel filter. It's like one of those water separator ones, where it's got the big thing and then the bottom thing with the water separator. New spark plugs, K&N, NGK Iridium ones. I cross-referenced them, and I think that's why I'm getting better gas mileage. There's another guy that I was talking to. He's down in Alabama right now on the bayou. He's loving it, bayou life. Hey, if you're watching the video, he's got an OMC sail drive, and he's only able to get 3.5, 4 miles a gallon, but I've been getting 10. I can get 50 miles on 5 gallons of gas, and that's been pretty good. And I'm not sure if it's because of those the Iridium plugs or not, because he's using not Iridium plugs. They burn a little bit hotter, and they have that little teeny element, and it's a different element than like a standard plug, and it makes the spark always in the same spot, so it's a little more of an efficient burn in the cylinder. Whereas when you get a standard plug, it's got that flat, wider element at the end, and then the spark can come off in different places, and you really don't think about it, because when you think of an engine, that's just explosions, boo, 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 boo. But in the micro scheme of things, it actually makes a big difference where that spark is hitting every time and where the explosion is for how efficient your motor is running. I learned that when working on motorcycles. One of the things I always do with every vehicle I have is throw in a K&N air filter and Iridium plugs, and it always ends up running better than it was. So just a little tip out there for anybody. Like in cars, if you want to save on gas, get a K&N air filter and some Iridium plugs, and you will save a few miles per gallon. A little tip for you. So it seems like my morning blab sessions are because I sleep and then I get up in the morning, and I'm used to being at home and talking to people, or my cats, or whatever, or my neighbor, or on Facebook, or I used to talk to my dad every morning and when we'd get up and stuff, and now I don't have them anymore. So I got you guys. So I do apologize if they tend to get a little long-winded, but gives me something to do. I hope it entertains you guys, and I try to always make it a little informative what I'm talking about. I'm not just sitting here randomly talking about nonsense that's not helpful to boats and boat lifestyle. So, like I said before, I want to be a channel that's like real boat lifestyle and sailing, not just them ones where they're trying to get pictures of their girlfriends in bikinis to get views. Because I wouldn't look too cute in a bikini. I could do like Captain Ron and throw on one of those red Speedos for you guys. In the comments below, let me know. One day, maybe you'll see me running around in a Speedo for you. I don't know. I'd see everybody, all my subscribers would go, unsubscribe. So, I'm going to run the engine fan here for a few minutes. I was running a little bit before I started the video, and I didn't think I was going to talk so long, and so might as well throw it on here while we're blabbing. That's one of the things that uses the most amps on the boat. It uses between 8 and 9 amps, but it's a really, really big blower. Normally, engine blowers for the size of this boat would move maybe 100 cubic feet a minute, 120 cubic feet a minute. This one moves 475 cubic feet of air a minute. And I'm not sure how many cubic square feet are in the boat, but a 10 by 10 room would be, I believe, 100 square feet. So it should definitely be oversized for this boat, and it'll get all the any and all fumes out that we have that are going down in the bilge. And then at night, every once in a while, I'll worry about CO2 building up when it's real cold and I have the candle going and everything. So I'll just throw it on for like 4 or 5 minutes every once in a while, and you can actually feel back up here where we have the window open all the time by the head. You'll start to actually feel the cold air coming around your shoulder here when you throw it on at night. So ventilation is good. We don't want to die in a boat from lack of air. In Minnesota, we had there's actually a law. I believe it's called Angie's Law. There was a little girl that was staying in a boat, and I think they had a generator running, and she passed away from the CO2 or CO, because CO is heavier than air, and it will creep over and go in the most bottom position of things. When I was looking at Great Loop, one of the things that they talk about for locks and dams is you have to be careful about that. One of the tips they actually had is if you're going to go through a lock and dam and have people in your cabin, to leave your engine fan on, because in the past, I guess people have been hurt or got sick. I don't know if anybody's died, but they would all be in the lock and dam, and the boats would be running, and everybody up on deck higher than people down in the cabins, so they don't notice. And because it's a lock and dam and it's got those big, all the CO would build up, and then it creeps over into like the boat next to you and around you, and then people have got sick. So it's just something to be aware of if you're in a boat in a enclosed space or going through the locks and dams, because if you don't look that up, that's something you would never ever realize when you're in them, because you're just sitting there going, wow, this is so cool, I'm going through a lock and dam. You're not thinking, oh, all these engines around here are building up CO2, and then we're in an enclosed rectangle, and for that CO2 to build up to then get out of the top of that enclosed rectangle, we would be submerged in it and not breathing. I want to say online there was a video of a party in Russia. They had some dry ice, and they put it in a pool, and they dove into the fog, and 2 people got injured, and 1 actually died because they didn't realize that CO in the pool just sat down in there, and they saw the fog from the dry ice, and they're like, wow, this is really cool. Not realizing, you know, unseen things, air, everybody just takes breathing for granted, you know. You're like, hey, air is everywhere. But it is not always. And then they had a very bad situation, because that would suck. Having a cool party, you're like, yeah, fog foam party. And then your buddy dives in, and you're like, oh, Bob, are you joking? Come on. Well, it was in Russia. So it would be like, what would be a good Russian name? Vlad. Vlad, are you joking? No. Come on, jump out. And then all of a sudden, no. And I want to say from the video, they couldn't get to him for a while either, because everybody started freaking out once they realized he wasn't alive. And then I don't know if it was somebody in the group realized what was going on and said something, or if they all just ran out because there was a dead body now in the room that was their buddy that was there a couple minutes ago smiling and laughing. So here we're doing a swing. The wind got us. The sun is coming from the south there, and as you can see, the wind now pushed us, and we are going to face the back of the boat towards the north. It's not that windy, so I'm not sure if the current kind of shifted there or what happened. But like last night, like I was saying, what ended up happening is the back of the boat would face that way downriver from the current, and the wind was coming from the south, so it would hit the back of the boat and like the solar panel, because it's at that angle, makes like almost like a sail, and it would push us, and then the anchor rope was off to the side, so it would pull the bow, and we ended up doing a big circle all night. You guys will laugh when you see it. Like I said, after I did the wake up talk part of the video, slice in there a screenshot of the anchor alarm, and it shows you where you moved. And you guys will laugh because it's just circle all night. I finally got to sail, but I didn't go anywhere. So, alright, the engine fans, you want to run it for at least 5 minutes, and I ran it for about 3 or 4 before I started the video. Now I ran it for a couple minutes, and so I'm gonna go weigh anchor, and we'll start heading down the river. The plan is, I think it's Clinton or Clinton. Clinton, I think it is, Iowa. That's about 12 miles from here. We'll hit Lock and Dam number 13 right before that. So we'll get Lock and Dam number 13, and then we will hit Clinton. Some gas. I haven't looked at the AIS yet this morning to see what's going on, but it actually does look like a barge is coming there. The bridge isn't open yet, but it will be, and I think we'll let that get by us, and then we'll head out. Utmost respects for these barge drivers, or barge captains and crew, especially right now with the historic low water levels. It's got to be stressful. I'm out doing this for fun, and if I crash, it's like, oh, whatever. They're doing that for a job, and if they crash, they get fired. So that's got to be pretty stressful. All right, everybody, we're up on deck. Just wanted to get another shot of that tree. Just seeing it, it's pretty big. I'm just going, wow, I'm really glad that didn't hit us in the middle of the night. That would have been insane. Or if it did hit us, I don't even know if I would have known. If it would have just kind of like bounced off and kept going, or if, because we're floating, if it would have just pushed us out of the way. Definitely with those branches like that, I can see it could have caught the anchor. Disconnected us or something. When we're all tied up in a bunch of trees or anything, that could be interesting. Just really glad that we didn't have any issues with it. And then also over here I'm seeing this one. red channel markers are right there. Where's the other one? Right over there. It's like right on the line. So that's good, because I don't know. I think a barge would just knock it out of the way, unless it's like embedded in the ground. I don't know if it would just push it deep into the mud and they would keep on going and then their prop would cut it up, or if it would actually stop them, or what. City of Cassville, if you see this video and you want to throw in some input, I'd love to hear it. I was also wondering as well, City of Cassville, what are the two big long poles that they stick down in the front of the barges with the ropes into the water? Is that some way to tell the depth, and if it hits too shallow tells you to stop, or work? Because I'm not sure. So that other barge should have downriver enough. I'm kind of just sitting here slacking this morning. Nice to not have to be like go 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 again, and have a little bit warmer weather and be on track, so we're not like, oh, we're gonna freeze. So here we go, weigh anchor. All right, we are on the move again. I'm gonna pretty much just head turn and do straight into the channel before I start to head south here, so we don't have to go right in there where we came in and anchored last night. I don't want to get too close to that tree. You never know how big they are underneath. It's like an iceberg. You might only see a little bit above the water, but underneath it could be huge. There's a duck hunter boat that went by. They were loaded up. They had like 9 people in that little boat. 8 or 9. That might be a little over capacity, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Want to go get them ducks. They were going pretty crazy this morning. We could hear the shots down south there. Those are those John boats, though, and they don't have a very deep draft at all, maybe a couple inches. So, goodbye, tree. Thank you for not taking us out in the middle of the night. Alright, we should be safe and in the channel here shortly. So, I'm only going 4 miles an hour. Let's go down. We weren't going full 5 or 6 there. So if you do end up hitting something, you're not going real fast and end up, you know, really putting yourself up on it. So, onward to dam number 13 we go. It'll be nice. 4 more days, hopefully, and we'll have a mast up, and we will be a sailing boat, sailing ship again. I almost forgot. Some of the subscribers wanted me to post what depth I'm in every once in a while when I anchor. So the depth back there off of the channel when we anchored was about 8 feet. Now we're about 12 feet. In the channel it runs anywhere from 10 to 15 feet normally, or like your minimums, and it can get all the way up to like 30, 40 feet sometimes, but not very often. I'm a little amazed. I always thought the Mississippi was a lot deeper of a river, like in my head, because of how wide it is and everything, but it really isn't. It's not that deep. Especially with the historic water levels being so low. You can definitely tell on shore, like the level of where the water would normally be, because there's no grass, it's all just rock where the water would normally be. Thought I'd throw that in there, so we're getting everybody, and I want all my subscribers to know that I do pay attention to the comments. If you guys ever ask me anything, I try to get an answer for you as soon as I can, and I'll adjust my videos and all that to get you guys as much information as I can about living on the boat here and doing the Great Loop while we go through it. Ready? So, checked out the EIS. Here we have the ship Twilight. I'm not positive that's the boat that goes out of up and where I got the shower was Twilight or if it's this boat, Twilight, I think it comes up there and then goes in and out at night sometimes, or how exactly that works. But pretty cool, you can pass a paddle boat. Stacks there. See if it's got feathers. Feathered stacks, and I can't remember the term. There's a whole term for paddle wheelers when they were all fancy. It was like feathered stacks and something. I don't know. I don't remember. I've heard something similar to that before. Either in a song or something. You can see we're going to make our way this way, get closer to shore, because we're right out in the middle of the channel, because we're trying to stay at the water level in the middle of the channel as much as possible, so we don't chance anything, even with our low clearance. Especially now that I saw those trees, how they just appear and disappear, right? It makes you really think, like, there could be a tree, 2 or 3 feet under the water, and you would never know. Bam! But if you're out in the middle of the channel and the barges are going, they have a 9-foot draft, so they keep it pretty clear, so you know you don't have to worry about anything. But over here out the shore, I'm very glad we have our nav on it, so it brings the parts every morning. Sometimes I'm a little OCD if I can check for updates 2 or 3 times during the day, like a 5 megabyte update. That doesn't necessarily mean it's right by where we're at, because I predefined like the download area for the maps as the whole area we're going to be going, so that it's saved on that, just in case at any time if we lose cell signal, we'll still have all of the parts pre-downloaded. I can't tell if the stacks are feathered. Speaking of old-time terms, I was reading on Facebook this morning that in the movie Tombstone, when Val Kilmer's character, the famous line, "I'll be your huckleberry," is actually misspoken. It's supposed to be, back in the day, it was hucklebearer, like how we have pallbearer nowadays. The part on a coffin, the handle, is called a huckle. So that's why hucklebearer, I'll be your hucklebearer, would mean I'll carry your coffin, means I'm going to kill you, which is what he was trying to say in that movie when he was talking tough. But because of, I forget what it was, either misspoken and they knew it at the time, and they just kept it because it was like an amazing scene, or, I can't remember exactly. It was, they totally misspoke it and didn't know it, and now people have pointed it out to them. I was hoping this, okay, there she's turning. I was going to say, I was hoping she'd be out more in the channel so I didn't have to be too close to shore here. She was hugging the shore there herself. I don't know why. I would think she'd want to be out in the channel too. Being with the low water mark. Low water levels, but I'm not exactly sure how the draft is for these paddle ships. Like a couple of feet, and that's why they use a paddle and not a propeller. But I'm not 100% sure how that works exactly. No, her stacks aren't feathered. I gotta get with it. I don't know if it was in the Mark Twain stuff I was reading, or if it was like an old song I heard, or what. I wish I could think of it. It'll come to me, and in the next couple of days I'll try and get the exact term for you guys. I'm sure we'll see some more of these paddle ships, paddle boats. see them all the time. I'm guessing back then they weren't as clean burning, and they would have, big smoke coming out of the stacks and all that. Nowadays, I think they burn diesel or natural gas. That's why you don't see anything coming out. It would be cool if they made them electric. In my old group I'm in on Facebook, as a brain trust, for doing this trip, I can ask them anything who would know about the motor. There are people that have converted it. That would be kind of cool. An electric motor would probably take a lot of power, so you wouldn't be able to just top off, if you needed gas, so that could be a problem. But as a sailboat, you really shouldn't motor that much. I know doing the river here, this is probably the most motoring I've ever done on this boat, and will ever do. I'm hoping when I come back through the Erie Canal and stuff, we'll be able to have a mast up as much as possible, and then definitely put Great Lakes. Oops, sorry, I put the phone down there. I had to grab the wheel and pay attention to the chart. I'll just be taking pictures. That low water level, you don't want to take your eye off the river for even a second, just in case there's like a log sticking up. I can't tell with the sun. It looks like this is in shadow to me on my screen. Hopefully for you guys it's a better shot. So that is the twilight. We'll wave. See if anybody waves back. No, nobody waving. So, we're going to head out back into the middle of the channel here. She doesn't have very much of a wake either, so that's always good. Back out into the middle of the channel. And southward we go. We got about another 4 miles to lock number 13, 4 or 5. I wonder if you can see it down there. It's probably around the corner or something. Sometimes when you're only like 5 miles away and the way the lake or the river is, you can get real lucky and see down there. But it looks like if you look on the chart, the green line is where we're facing and the lock and dam is right there. So 8 miles away actually. You can see it's around the corner and we wouldn't be able to see it yet. Okay, here we get the wake from the paddle boat. Not bad at all. This ain't nothing. It's crazy, some of those power boats when they go by, they're just woof, right next to you. And it'll make a wave and the wave will crest and drop. Because it's the side, you'll go woof, woof. And it's like, God, buddy, thanks. You didn't have to go right next to me. You got the whole goddamn river. And in all the boating laws, it says, you're responsible for your own wake. But a lot of motorboaters they don't do that. They want to get to where they're going as fast as they can, try and show off and be all, everybody's about their ego trying to be Mr. Badass, Sometimes you just gotta be humble. Just be a person. Just be a person. Be considerate of other people. Haha, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. They're a few days back, they're in Cassville. They were not able to get up to the dock with their drafts, so they had to anchor out in the river, and then they took their little rowboat dinghy in to shore. So, and then they're going to be there for a day or two, and then they're going to push on to Dubuque on October 11th is their planned date to get there. I believe it's October 9th today. So they're going to end up getting 2 more days behind. But they can travel on the river at 8 miles an hour with their engine. I can only do 5. Well, I could do faster, but cruising speed for me is 5 miles an hour. For them, it's 8. So they might be able to catch up. I'm hoping, like I said, once I get my sails up, we can do 6 knots like we used to do on Lake Mille Lacs all the time, just as cruising speed. That's like 7 or 8 miles an hour. And I'll be pretty happy. kind of cool. We're not like in the river valley. It kind of opened up here a little. And as we're going, I thought it was kind of funny. There's like a rock here with a light. A whole bunch of big old fat pelicans chilling. On Lake Mille Lacs, we do not have pelicans like that. We have pelicans, but these are big old fat ones. They're looking at me like, what are you? And I'm looking at them like, what are you? Sorry, the boat moves and then I move, and when you're zoomed way in, it's just even a little bit of a movement of a fall over, so I apologize there. We got seagulls. Those are kind of cool. Some new animals we haven't seen before. Not native to Minnesota. I'm hoping to see some more cool animals. I've just seen really kind of birds. I heard those coyotes. The first night when I was in Prescott, it sounded like some kind of animal got eaten in the woods, but that wasn't anything crazy or different sounding than anything we had heard in the homestead. I'll come back once we get up here to dam number 13. We're going up to Locking Dam number 13. And kind of disconcerting. It looks like there's a bunch of my bearings of where I need to stick the camera. Right there. Looks like there's smoke. There. Kind of smells like burning oil. Once we get up there, I wonder what. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Going into the sun when I'm trying to look at my camera screen or my phone screen, it's something you can't really see. And then having it zoomed in this far, like I was saying, any little movement puts you all over the place. So, get up there and we'll radio home, and hopefully the building's not on fire. Alright, here we are, Locking Dam. Number 13. I have no idea what that smoke was, but I called them on the radio and they said everything was good to go. Nothing to worry about. Come out here. So just after dam 13 here, on the Iowa side, there's Chilton, Iowa, or we could go to Fulton, Illinois. But on the map, it looks like Chilton had the best of gas stock to go to. The one in Fulton looked like it was like a courtesy dock or something. It didn't look very promising. And everything, but who knows? They could have it dredged out. I didn't call it or anything, but I know for sure that the Chilton Marina will be fun. All you guys can see is that block of wood. Hard to see the screen with the sun. Alright, we got the yellow light, the doors starting to open. Should be able to head on in here. Somebody said, oh, you're going to get to dam number 13, unlucky number 13. This is home for us. Or 11. Because we didn't do the first two. So, nothing to worry about. There is a lot of grass in the river here. Grass and trees. I wonder why the different pools and stuff, I guess. See if we can see over the dam here. Down into Chilton. Kind of. Camera keeps focusing on the rigging there. I was zoomed in there. Pretty cool little dam. That's where we came from. Definitely try not to sail through a lock or up to the lock. Maybe they were firing up that towboat there or something, and that's what that smoke was from so far away. I have no idea. It's a Sunday though, so I don't think they'll be really doing much work. Or no. I'll come back once we have the lines. Alright everybody, here we are in lock number. Maybe 4 or 5 feet. Now we're gonna do the last little bit and then them gates will start opening and we can head out. This one was not bad at all. Maybe one of these I'll try floating in, because a couple of the guys have said if you're just by yourself you can float, but I like holding these ropes just in case anything happens. I don't want to get turned sideways in the lock or anything. I remember in the Austin Powers movie he was like in a basement somewhere and he had to turn around like a golf cart and he went like an inch at a time, and that's what I would think would happen with the Mellow here. If we got turned sideways in the lock, it wouldn't be fun. You gotta be careful on the back end here because the solar panel will swing over. Sorry, trying to get us corrected. I'm gonna pause the video, I'll be right back. There we go. So what happens is the front end catches the wind and it'll push over. Then back here you gotta be careful. Make sure the solar panel doesn't hit the wall. So I put my foot out and then that kind of helps us. Alright, it opened up. For some reason the motor died, so I'm gonna go get that going. We'll head on out. We got it started. Alright, we got it started back up. I think it just doesn't like the idle when you put it real low. I have to set the idle screw up a little bit. That time when I jumped up to go grab the ropes as I was talking to the guy, I just kind of pushed it down all the way and then went and grabbed them instead of kind of leaving it up a little bit. So, Chilton should be just down over here. We got our whistle. We're good to go and we can head on out. Get some more gas and be on our way. Thinking if we fill up here in Chilton, we won't stop in Davenport or anything. There's Quad City there. So we're just going to keep on pushing north because the rain's coming here in 2 days. You want to be careful. Good luck. Alright, let's flip in and now we keep on heading downriver. Should just be right over cool little windmill there. Here is the bridge. We're going to go under the bridge and then right up on the other side to the right. This is the marina where we can fill up. At least that's the plan. And here we are. Bolton, Illinois. Clinton, Iowa. After this bridge, but before the next bridge on the side up there. We can't see it, it's around the bend. I'm going up around the bend. CCR. Do. So this is, I believe, Rail Bridge. I'm not positive. And then down there is the shade. Yesterday we were cold in the shade. Today it's like 72 degrees and the sun gets on your face. This morning it was like 30 and we were chilly. I wasn't chilly, but it was chilly. It's kind of cool up in the, it's too dark you guys can't see. In the front V-berth there I have that little curtain and it kind of closes and it kind of keeps the heat in there but then allows fresh air to come in and out so it's not real thick. So, there we go. Another bridge down. Another bridge to go. Alright. I love having these phones. I just use Google Maps to get the satellite image and it looks like once we come around the corner there, you can see it. That's the gas dock. So I should be able to pull up there. And fill up. Not a problem. Go up around this green channel marker and then we'll to the starboard side, pull up. We make this turn, we're going to end up having a wind off of our port bow. It'll be nice to be going into the dock on our starboard side, and hopefully the wind will just push us right into it. Get up there. Won't make it too tricky. Just get a wind sock there. Getting some good 15-mile-an-hour wind. Each one of those lines on this wind sock represent wind. First one I do is 5, second one's 8, next one's 12, and if the thing's all the way up, it's more than 15. I could be off though, it's been a while since I checked them out. It's just what I've always assumed. Down there, the rest of the Clinton and Fulton. cut, or somebody would probably try to cut on the inside of that, but we're going to go past it and then turn in just to make sure that we have enough depth when we're doing this. Alright, we were able to come in Clinton here and get some gas. Boy, the river definitely is low. Wow. Our draft is 2.5 feet. I like to say 3, and we saw 3 on the depth chart plotter coming in there. And that was stressful. So we got real nice people. They helped us tie up. People in the boat to our starboard there. Told them about our story. They thought it was pretty cool. They said they'd subscribe. So if you see the buoy there, that should be floating. That is how low the river is right now. So hopefully that does not end up being impedance to our journey, and we're able to get in and get fuel everywhere we need. Hopefully we won't be needing to stop for fuel very often once we get the sail up. So that's the plan. We're gonna go up here to the marina, see if we can get a burger and fries or something to go, and then I'll come back and let you know how it is. So we were able to go up and order a burger. Since I have all my long underwear on, it is extremely hot in there, so I came out here where there's a nice cool breeze. We were able to get our horn that I needed another one of because I noticed ours from a couple years ago broke and there was no more air in it anymore. So then we got should be about 10-15 minutes to get the burger, and then we can get back on the boat and head out. It's always cool to see different view of the river, but yeah, you can see right there just how far down the river is. None of that should be visible. And our boat, the Mellow, is over here at dock. Over at the fuel dock. Let's see if we can see her from here. Kinda. Won't be long and we'll be back out on the water. Don't have to be around. So once I get the burger, I'll go grab it and then we'll head back down to the boat. Alright, we got our food and we are good to go. So now we gotta walk back down over to the fuel dock. This place gave me a cool little to-go bag, and then it's got a see-through container with some ketchup and some crinkle fries. We'll get a better look once we get down at the boat. So it's not too far of a walk. They got a cool little lighthouse there. Crazy how low the river is. Over in front over there, everything was just, they were saying the docks are almost just sitting on the sand. So there's our ship, the Mellow. She might not be the best or most expensive ship in the world, or the most expensive or luxurious ship in the world, but to me she's the best. She's my baby, she's my home, and she keeps me safe. Me and her will go anywhere. But as you can see, these docks that are made to go to these fuel docks, most of them are almost designed to go straight out. And there are always these huge angles because of what's going on. Right there, the water should go up to the rocks. Hopefully getting out won't be a problem. It was a little daunting seeing that 3-foot area when we were going. well take this opportunity to check out everything on the front of the boat. Everything looks solid, nothing's falling apart. So, good. Back of our boat looks good. We just got the black from two-stroke. So, here we go. Wow. It's good to be aboard again. It's good to be aboard again. I'm gonna see. So we're not right in the sun. Actually, I think we're gonna go down below so we're not in the wind and all that. So I'm gonna pause the video, get the boat opened up, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody. I figure we'll run the engine fan while we're sitting here. So let's see what we get at the Candlelight Inn. We got some fancy ketchup packets that are the dip ones or that you can squeeze out. Fancy silverware with their name on it. And salt and pepper in there even. Fancy. Bun is toasted. American cheese. I asked if they had pepper jack, but they did not. So, let's get some ketchup on here. Ta-da! So, this will be the Thomas taste test. This one is good. Good quality meat, good seasoning. I definitely like the burgers at the Candlelight Inn in Clinton, Iowa. So if you're ever here, definitely get one. They're amazing. Try these fries out now. Good. I'm pretty sure these are just some fries they get out of a bag and then they throw in the fryer, but still good. It beats Cold Chef Boyardee. So I'm gonna finish up eating here, and then when we're heading out, I'll be back. Well, that was most definitely. There we go. Well, that was most definitely stressful. I saw 2.5 feet, and we have a 2.5 feet clearance draft. I am not positive, but we may have just slightly rubbed against the bottom. But we got in and out, we got our fuel, so that's good, and now we can start heading downriver before this starts to get too shallow. There we go, now we're back up to 8, 9. We're almost in the channel. As you know, the barges, the channel, they need 9.5 feet. So to be out here and the depth in the middle of the channel is only like 10 feet. That's pretty hair-raising, I bet, for them, because just imagine 9.5 feet clearing draft. If there's a wave or anything, bam, you're on the bottom. So I'm gonna get the lifeline closed and we'll continue on. City of Clinton Showboat. Thank you very much for your burger and fuel. City of Clinton Marine. Turn on our radio here, get our AIS on, and get everything prepared after stepping on land for a little bit. Well, we went ashore. We're going to keep on heading down river. I don't know if we'll make it to Davenport today. Probably halfway between here and Davenport, but that's still a good day. Still a good day. Alright, here we have the Clinton Vehicle Bridge. And then next is the Clinton Rail Bridge. I called ahead. Their clearance is 18 feet. Let me turn the smoke here. We need 12, 13, so we should be good to go. That was definitely crazy getting into that Clinton Marina back there. When you know your draft is 2.5 feet, normally you don't want to go below 3, and you see 2.5 feet. I was just waiting for like the rudder to hit or something, but it didn't. So I'm guessing it just skimmed the mud. Or maybe if there's like some weeds on the bottom, the depth finder gets or something, but wow. That golden rule, they're definitely going to have to be parking out in the river and using a dinghy to get on shore for a lot of stuff. I was thinking of getting a blow-up dinghy. I have like a blow-up little, like, what would you call it? Like a toy raft thing. That's not really used, would be, you know, like a super good dinghy, but I have it in emergency in case I have to, you know, get to shore or abandon ship. With the water levels, it's making me rethink that. Maybe I do need a dinghy to pull behind the boat or something, or at least a more heavy-duty inflatable one that has like the plastic or wood board in the back for an electric trolling motor or something. Then if I had to get groceries or gas or anything, it would have a little more stability. It's not just one where you blow up the air sacs in the middle for the raft and then the outside. I'm guessing if you put too much weight in that, it's just going to kind of fold in the middle. My throat's dry after eating that burger. Must have had a lot of salt. There we go. 70 feet clearance. We still haven't got to do a bridge at night yet. And I definitely want to, but we have not yet. Next we'll head on under this one. This one really makes you think if the clearance is 18 feet now, like is that the now clearance? Or is that the clearance that they normally have and then the water level is down? Because if the clearance is normally 18 feet, and then now we're down, if you look at the pier, you know, another 5, 6 feet, you might have a whole 20-foot clearance. Or if 18 feet is the clearance now, and then the water goes up more, you know, 14 feet is the normal clearance. That's a pretty low bridge. I don't know what I don't know what you call the top one. Draft is underneath. Is it air draft? I think it is for how tall you need. I wonder what the barges do. Because the barges are little, but it's the towboats that are real tall that you would have to worry about getting under. This one looks like a old bridge. The wind's coming down the river. We're lined right up with it. But that must be why it's nice and warm. Because the wind's from the south. Alright. So that's all the cool stuff to see in Clayton or Clinton, Illinois, or Clinton, Iowa. / Fulton, Illinois, but Fulton, Illinois would be on the other side. Woo, that's some good wind there. Too bad it's not at our tail and we could just throw up the sail. Our normal 5 mile an hour, now that we got that wind, dropped down to 4.6. Hopefully the wind will die down when we anchor tonight and we don't have to worry about sailing around. Because when that happens, I'm always worried about what's going to happen with the keel or the lower unit of the motor that got twisted around it. If you have like 50 feet of rope out, I felt like we were far enough away and that it would be forward enough that it would never wrap, but anything is definitely possible. barge pulling out over here that we gotta watch out for. Sorry, I dropped the camera down because I wanted to check the AIS there. See what his name was and everything. I'm not sure if he's going over there building barges or if he's gonna come out and head down the river. So kind of slow down here and peep out what's going down. I'm pretty sure he's over here building barges because they're filling up here and then they fill them up one at a time and then they set up the big units there and then they move them. So we'll slow down here, see what his plan is. See what's going down. Right now we're in 34 feet, 35 feet of water, so we don't have anything to worry about there. With the wind, maybe I'll go throw the keel down and we don't have to worry about it being so tippy. Be a little more stable, just easier for us. Out in the middle of a channel here, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. Yeah, so it looks like he's gonna go right over to the end there. Stick that bad boy there. So when he's doing that, hopefully I'll be able to sneak behind him here. If anything gets closer or anything, I'll call him on the radio and ask him what he wants me to do. So, over here we actually have a boat that went aground on the river. Must have been trying to get out of that little bit over there and got stuck. And now the river has just kept on rocking. So the barge behind us there, Terrebonne or Trebone, radioed him and asked him which side he wanted me to be on my port. So I passed him on his port side and we got out of his way. I don't know if that stresses them out, me calling and bugging them, but in my head I'd like to think it helps them out, letting them know where I'm at, and asking them what they want me to do. So, because they are out here doing a job and I don't want to get in anybody's way. That's definitely crazy about that boat. So onward downriver we go. Keep watching our chart plotter for depth and stay in the middle of the channel. I guess that's the best we can do. I was thinking of putting the keel down with the wind, but with the way the water is, I don't know. With the keel down, we have a 6-foot draft. With it up, it's 2.5. So, I'd rather have a 2.5-foot draft, just in case anything crazy happens. Alright, everybody. So here is a little bit of how you can see how low the river is. Normally, it would be up above where that black line is on the wall. And you can see we are well below that. So, pretty crazy. Stick to the center of the channel and hope for the best. We have 2.2 or a 2.5-foot draft. We're at 22 feet now, so we'll make it. We will push on through determination. If I have to drag this boat through the mud, I would go rent a donkey or something and throw her up on some horses. Nah, we got trucks nowadays. This is an 1850. But we will make this journey happen no matter what. sheer resilience and determination. Right, over here, look at this. This is a fishing pier. That would normally be, the water would be up to it but because of the historic water levels, and that's not one that is like this one. I don't know if the city threw that one in just because that one's done or what, but you can see they had to throw a whole lot of dock sections in there to get through the sand to it. Glad we're getting the gas mileage we're getting, and if I have to stay out in the river, I can. And I'll be feeling really, really good once we get the sail up, and then we really don't even have to worry about gas if we don't want to. Yay, sailing, we get like 15,000 miles a gallon. Wow, yeah, that is crazy. I remember seeing stuff on TV about like late I had no idea that Mississippi was like this. Before I left, I researched it, and I saw that it was low. Historic low. I don't know if a month ago when I was looking at everything it was even this low. If anybody knows, in the comments, definitely leave if you know how far the river has dropped in the last month, or if it's been like this for a long, long time. So here's something interesting for you. You can see the channel marker way over there. If you look right there, the way the water is going, there's something definitely in the river. That the water is diverting around. Sunset on the river. It's always a magical, magical time. I think I'm probably going to do another maybe 5-10 miles. It's about 6:30. So 5 miles an hour, we get by 8:30. That's not too bad. Get another 10 miles, and then we'll be outside of dam number 14. And I believe it's, no, I think dam 14 is after Bentfield. I think it's Bentfield and Danville. Look on the map. Bettendorf and Davenport. Totally different. So luckily I already had my trusty hat on. With my motorcycle 60-mile-an-hour hat. So it fits real tight, and just in case we hit 60 miles an hour. Ooh, I had some ketchup. No, it's not ketchup, is it? I cut myself. I don't know what on. It's been a bug bite or something I was picking. Thought I had ketchup for my burger. Anyway, got my 60-mile-an-hour hat on, just in case, you know, we hit 60 miles an hour. We might take this bad boy up to 85 and go back in time. I am at work. But you never know. They did it with a train. Here is a beautiful, beautiful sunset on the lake. Or the river, sorry. I swear, a little while ago, I saw a dorsal fin. I don't know if there's sharks in the Mississippi or it was a big sturgeon. Maybe it was a tail of a fish. I'm just chilling, doo-doo-doo, and I saw a dorsal fin. I'm like, what? I into shark territory, and I'm trying to think. I remember like there was that story of back in the day, bull shark that went up the Mississippi and got some kids. I thought maybe, I don't know, but it was pretty cool. I don't know what it was though. Gotta love the beauty of our country we live in. You guys have never experienced the U.S. or been to the U.S. and seen the Mississippi River Valley along its path? Definitely suggested to everybody. Well, that was kind of funny. We just had some guys drive by on a pontoon and take our picture and yell hey and wave. I don't know if they're following along on Facebook or watching on YouTube, but if you guys are, hey, back, I saw you guys, and it's kind of cool if you're following along. Here we have our wonderful, wonderful sunset. Here we're going to go by Princeton, Iowa at night. Beautiful sight indeed. One thing I should have brought is earplugs. Not because of the motor, but because there's always a train going by on the river. And when you're trying to sleep, you don't always want to hear that. So here we have some other boats out here. Starting to get into warmer territory, and it was Sunday night, so people were out on the river this weekend. It'll be nice kind of tomorrow on a Monday. We shouldn't have any more recreational crafts out here with us. I don't have to worry about people wakes and going crazy right in front of me. But we're also getting down into warmer weather, so boating season goes longer here. I know up in Minnesota on the homestead, like 40 degrees there today. 40 something degrees. Our Gickin Hope is doing good and our Gickin ended up getting it on, and we ended up having a hybrid, which we would call a Gickin. Her name is Hope, and she's doing real good. So we'll probably go on for maybe another half hour, 45 minutes, and we'll call it a night, because parking with the low water and all of the trees and stuff, I want to be real careful when I do it and be able to not be the middle of the night when I'm real tired and then have some catastrophic situation happen, like we go aground or rip the keel off, and that I'm tired and I don't have the energy or the what would the word be, reaction as if I was not as tired. Alright everybody, so that's a wrap. We finally made it to some warmth. It's like 60 degrees out, and the low for tonight is going to be 50 instead of 30s. So we're not sitting here all bundled up in a spacesuit. We're in our marine snuggie. This is called a snuggie. And on my Facebook, people that saw it said, hey, you have a patented marine snuggie. So we're going to call it a night. We're about 5 miles outside of Davenport, but I didn't want to anchor anywhere near the city. I want to be a little bit before it. And then tomorrow we'll probably stop there to get gas in the morning, top off our tanks, and continue south, at least tomorrow. And then that'll be Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday is the rain probably, so we'll just kind of call it a night and take it easy. Or call it a day and take it easy those days and do some boat projects, get stuff organized around here. I've just been kind of throwing my dirty clothes everywhere. That's my pile. And then I take my long underwear on and off and then put on fresh underwear every day and socks. But then I have my outer layers. Figure out how to do laundry here. On Facebook, there's SV Jaden Marie. And her husband, I saw, he actually put a washing machine in their boat, and I'm pretty impressed by that. He did a wonderful job. So if you ever watch these videos, good job on putting that in your boat. I'm pretty impressed. Not really anything else I can think of for the night. So I'm signing off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.